Give it up again.
All right, let's give it up to the hosts like Bernard and Vinny. They have been keeping this show running. Cool. So some of you probably already know me. I came from China. I recently have realized that Chinese folks, including me, we have a very weird way to respect your guys' like personal space. So what I mean is that we want to get very close to you, but we never want to touch you. So have you guys been in a situation where like you're standing in line with a Chinese student like right behind you? No? Raise your hand if you have. How does that go?
Terrible.
9 out of 10 times when I'm in that situation, that dude behind me will get so close to me that I can literally feel like the warmth, like breathing down my neck, okay? And he will be talking so loud, like on his phone or something. And I literally sort of feel like a cloud of saliva, droplets, right, sort of form like around me and covering my entire body. Now, are you still surprised that COVID started from China? But that's only one side of the story, right? The other side is that one side is that we're very comfortable even when we want to get very close to you. But we would never want to touch you. That's the other side. And this like weird concept that I want the distance between you and me like very, very like close to zero but never zero is why Chinese students always get an A in calculus. You know that calculus is all about like getting very, very, very close to zero, but never exactly there, right? Other students are losing their mind about like why this is even possible. We Chinese students, we walk into the calculus class like, yeah, when I was born, the knowledge was already encoded here. Talking about unfair advantage. So I guess our weird concept about like respecting personal space sometimes can make it a little bit awkward when we encounter a hugger. Like, are you a hugger? Like any hugger here? Like, raise your hand if you hug like at least once a week, right? Yeah. So you can literally go through the entire 1.3 billion, it is a billion, Chinese population and find 0 huggers. And this is what happened when I just moved here in my first hugging encounter, okay? So yeah, she was my coworker, big hugger. Like the second or third time I met her, she was already like, hey Kenneth! Like she was going this like, arms wide open, and I was just like out of habit, so I was like poking my hands like forwards. You know, it was basically like a Titanic pose versus like a Jedi like defense. But you know, I'm not dumb. Okay, I quickly realized like my gesture was not exactly compatible with hers, so I just like moved my arms a little bit. Okay. Things work out fine, except that there's only one thing I didn't know. I didn't know that when you're hugging, you're supposed to have one arm going over the shoulder, right? So the next thing I know, both of my arms like went under her armpits. So I ended up in this position. My arms like wrapped around her waist and then face buried between her breasts. So like, back in China, like when I grew up, the school, like the history class, taught us that 100 years of humiliation. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of that term, right? Basically, like the according to the history book, imperial power invaded us, like occupied us, and then humiliated us for 100 years. Right? When I was in school, like I'm like, okay, I get the invading and occupying part, but somehow I just don't get the humiliating part, right? Like these folks, they brought technology democracy and opium, right? Like, what's wrong with those things? They're very good. But my first encounter, like, after that, like, it dawned on me, like, oh, this is what they're talking about, right? I hugged for barely 3 seconds, and I already feel like terribly humiliated. Just imagine being forced to hug for 100 years. Alrighty, this is my set.
Thank you. Thanks, Kenneth. Okay, so on